While it has gotten a bad rap for its less than stellar food offerings, although I find it to be quite good, PizzeRizzo in Disney's Hollywood Studios is filled with plenty of fun Muppet references, if you know where to look. It also features nods to what came before it and what was recently lost nearby. Here are 7 hidden things at PizzeRizzo in Hollywood Studios. The original concept for this particular dining location is said to have been for the Swedish chef's cooking school. It would have been a restaurant where you can watch the Swedish chef attempt to prepare dishes while you dine. Next door, however, where Mama Melrose is located now, was to be the Great Gonzo's Pizza Pandemonium Parlor. Owned and operated by the Great Gonzo, the main draw for this pizza restaurant was going to be Rizzo and his other rat buddies moving along on tracks on the rafters above the diners' heads. All of these ideas were canceled when the merger between Disney and the Jim Henson Company fell through in the early 90s. And the larger of these 2 spaces ended up being used to show off movie props instead. Cut to several years later, and the building was taken over by Toy Story Pizza Planet, a pizza restaurant and video arcade, although it didn't look anything like the location in the film as it was placed inside a building themed to an old utilities plant. Pizza Planet lasted at the park for nearly 20 years, until it was closed in 2016 to make way for the all-new PizzeRizzo. To pay tribute to its predecessor, you can find a sign above the front entrance that reads, "The best pizza on the planet," but with 2 of the words in a larger font, so it looks like it says Pizza Planet from a distance. Even though this quick service location may appear to be light on theming, Imagineers still managed to create some backstory. The area near the entrance, across from the ordering stations, features photographs and mementos honoring who appears to be Rizzo's father. For example, Papa Rizzo's apron from 1916 is on display, along with a little rolling pin. Photos featuring a Little League team named the City Rats can also be seen, along with a pendant and baseball bats in both human and rat sizes. According to a postcard on the corkboard upstairs, the PizzeRizzo in Southern California is the second famous original PizzeRizzo, so it can be assumed that the first was opened by his father in New York. Rizzo celebrated his grand opening with a free slice on him, but the coupon was only ever valid next week. Proud of his Grand Avenue location, Rizzo had his first dollar earned framed and put it on display near the entrance to the dining room. Unfortunately, it looks like Pepe may have stolen it, leaving an IOU in its place. There's also a wide selection of PizzeRizzo merchandise they supposedly used to sell, but sadly, none of it is actually for sale. Now, rats preparing your food is nothing new for the Muppets.
Hey, that waiter's a rat!
Rizzo led a kitchen staff of rats in the diner featured in the Muppets Take Manhattan movie. Just in case we weren't aware of the rat situation, a clever effect is hidden in the large neon sign above the restaurant. While most of the time it reads, "The city's top-rated pizza," every so often some of the neon flickers out, revealing the words, "It's rat pizza." Even the phone number for PizzeRizzo has rat hidden in it, RA74996. All throughout the upstairs dining area, you'll find dozens of other little references to rats and mice, whether it's real Broadway playbills for shows like Of Mice and Men, or records that have any mention of rats, or pizza for that matter. You'll find them hanging on the wall. Advertised outside and on flyers upstairs, Rizzo's Deluxe Supreme Banquet Hall puts the rat in Celebrate. Able to accommodate up to 150 guests, or 875 rats, the Deluxe Supreme Banquet Hall features a dance floor and a once state-of-the-art sound system. It's a great place to dine if you're really into cheesy wedding music and songs from the 90s. Plus, kids love the dance floor. Just outside the banquet hall, a sign shows information for the next upcoming event. The sign is covered with Muppet references. For starters, even the top message, "Somebody Got Married," may be an allusion to the song from the finale of the Muppets Take Manhattan called "Somebody's Getting Married." And even the names of the people getting married, Gil and Lil, along with their family, Will, Jill, Phil, and Bill, is another nod to that film. These character names were part of the advertising agency that Kermit joined after losing his memory.
Phil, I'm Bill, and this is Gil. Phil, I'm Gil, and this is Jill.
Phil, I'm Jill. You know, Gil and Bill. Pleased to meet you.
There's also one very well hidden Muppet mention on this board, but you have to look closely to even see it. In faded letters behind the wedding information are details for the Pa Otter Memorial Service. This is a reference to the Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas special that first aired in 1977. Pa Otter was Emmett's father and had died a couple years prior to the start of the story, but he is brought up throughout the show. The board at PizzeRizzo says that the Frogtown Hollow Jubilee Jug Band played at the funeral, Emmett's band from the special. In 2016, the Streets of America area of Disney's Hollywood Studios closed. This area, which was originally built as a part of the production tour, was themed as a movie backlot. This was also the original home to the Muppets Courtyard and Muppet Vision 3D. While the area's replacement, Grand Avenue, was only beginning construction at the time, you could see that PizzeRizzo featured a Grand Avenue address when it opened just a few months after the Streets of America had closed. Some props and signs from the now defunct Streets of America were utilized around PizzeRizzo to help give it a more New York-ish style pizzeria feel. Most notable of these signs is probably the large 18th Street station sign, which was originally featured on a fake subway entrance when the Streets of America was still open. One spot in PizzeRizzo where you can find a ton of Muppet references is the corkboard upstairs. Filled with flyers and business cards for all sorts of strange things starring the Muppets, over the years, Imagineers have actually added more photos and adverts than the restaurant originally opened with. You can find mentions of Muppets like Rolf, Fozzie, the Swedish Chef, and many more. Be sure to look closer at the photographs on the corkboard and around the restaurant in general. What may look like a normal picture of a happy couple on their wedding day actually features hidden Muppets, like this one with Statler and Waldorf in the background. I had seen this photo 100 times before I noticed the newly married rat couple in the center. Around the restaurant, you can find historical photos like this one of Little Italy in New York, but with a rat superimposed in. While people tend to think of this restaurant as light on Muppet theming, you can find several photos taken directly from the Muppet films and other productions on the walls. There's a record for the Mice Girls, which is not only a clever play on the Spice Girls, but it's actually a reference to a scene in Muppets from Space, where Rizzo has a poster of Mice Girls up on the wall of his room. Outside of PizzeRizzo are crates for Heckler tomatoes, which may be a nod to the Muppets' famous hecklers Waldorf and Statler. There's a pizza eating contest plaque near the entrance with names of Muppets that have previously won. Of course, Big Mean Carl has the most wins, as he's known for being pretty good at eating. There's one last empty spot on the plaque too, which could be reserved for you. And the two corner booths upstairs, known as the VIP area, are decorated with caricatures of many of the Muppets, including favorites like Kermit and Miss Piggy. While half of the artwork is done in classic fairground-style caricature, some are drawn in the style of famed cartoonist Al Hirschfeld. Hirschfeld was best known for his stylistic portrayals of famous celebrities that featured elegant curved lines. Before you leave, you should grab a photo with Rizzo's portrait, drawn carrying a pizza and riding a skateboard for some reason. While we never did get the full Muppet courtyard, which would have had a ride and 2 restaurants, including one where rats would run food back and forth from the rafters, it's nice that eventually, all these years later, Rizzo and his Muppet friends were finally able to move in. After all, there's nothing else quite like the famous original PizzeRizzo. Love it or hate it, I think there's one thing we can all agree on. PizzeRizzo has the best air conditioning out of all the quick service locations at Hollywood Studios, and for that, it's at least worth a shot next time you visit. Be sure to subscribe and check out all the other Hidden Things videos on the channel. If you like what we do, consider joining our Patreon for exclusive content and early releases. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there.